This episode of Inside the Game is powered by MSI Gaming. The game just got real. Head to our website at insidethegame.ca for all the details. We've all been wondering when we're getting the Google Stadia. Well, at the Google Pixel 4 event, they finally let us know it's coming out on November 19th. With that, we're going to get some games like Red Dead 2, Mortal Kombat 11, and of course, one of the games they've been talking about the most, Destiny 2. Carry your progress over and then play on the go. So we finally know when it's coming out, how the service is going to go. We're in kind of for a heads up as to we'll see another service, because that's what we need, is another service.
Riot Games, the developer of the Titan League of Legends, has announced that they are creating a new card game. This one is called Legends of Runeterra. Now this one's set to kind of compete with the Hearthstone crowd, but this is going to have characters that you know and love from League of Legends and a whole lot more. Keeping up with our Riot news, we also have a new shooter in development. This one they've only called Project A so far, but we know that this one is going to be a character-driven kind of team-based shooter, and with the history that League of Legends brings with all the different champions, that's set to be quite a title. We don't know too much about these titles, but we do know that we'll learn a lot more in 2020. And they've announced that the card game is supposed to be out as well in 2020.
So the much anticipated sci-fi RPG The Outer Worlds from Obsidian is coming out real soon, when they've just announced that on the Xbox One X we're getting 4K resolution, but on the PS4 Pro we're getting capped at 1080p. And this might have something to do with the fact that Microsoft now owns Obsidian Entertainment, but it is an interesting move not to have both beefed up versions of the consoles getting 4K resolution. But Xbox One X fans, you're getting it. PlayStation 4 Pro, you're not.
So mobile fans, League of Legends fans, we got some incredible news for you, because Riot Games has announced at their 10-year anniversary that we are getting a brand new game. But it's not going to be on PC. This is going to be on console and mobile. A brand new game built from the beginning for consoles and mobile. So I'm excited. I always wanted to get into League of Legends, but I haven't really, hooked me because I'm not really a big PC guy. But now that we're getting a brand new game with new characters, a new story and lore, I'm excited. So let's check it out.
Our bald-headed assassin is back with some new DLC.
The world needs visionaries. People of imagination, class, refinement. People who have what it takes. People like you. We understand. Because we are the world's premier reputation management service. Haven, where complete erasure is guaranteed.
IO Interactive just released the latest DLC, Haven Island for Hitman, and I dove right back in. This was a new take for where they're kind of going with 3 new targets. We're on an isolated island, which is absolutely phenomenal. It is gorgeous. It felt so secluded that you're on this remote island, and everybody there is high value targets in a sense because they don't want to be spotted. Now the story takes over right from where it ended at the New York bank job, so you want to be able to play that first. Otherwise, you're kind of jumping in a little ahead of yourself, and you don't want to do that.
Regular customers. Ridiculous. Why?
Director Savalas eliminated. Good work, 47.
You want to get the full experience, so definitely play the bank first, then come back into Haven Island. That's what I did. Went and finished that, dove right into this, and the way this actually, the story ended, is really what captivated me the most. It was where they're setting up for the next Hitman, whether that's the next DLC or the next game itself. But things are ending with a pretty cool way, so I'm anxious and excited to see where we're going to go further.
Best of luck, 47.
So we all know the typical rules of Hitman. You got your target, you gotta go set them up, take them out, and move on. That's basically how it goes here. But we have 3 targets we have to do. There's a female and 2 males, and they're all different. They all have their unique sense of why they're on the island. And the way that you can go about taking out the targets is pretty cool. That they always do that. They always have this sense of why these targets are of value. And the path you kind of run in, which is such a Hitman game, it's you have one sense of target, which allows you to get set up in the sense that you can follow the story mission, and then you get these little clues that are dropped on you, and it allows you to kind of guide your path to how to take out that target. Now you can go that way, or you can figure it out on your own and just go about and do it in multiple ways. And then of course, IO is so well at making a game craftable that you can go back and replay it, so you can take out the target in multiple ways, not just one target. You can push her over the railing and into the ocean. You can have her fall through the trap. You can just shoot her if you wanted to. It's really up to you on how you want to take out these targets. So IO's back again, and I really had a great time, and the challenges are back, and that makes you kind of want to go back and enjoy the ability to go in and face these targets in different paths.
Good work, 47. Ludmila Vetrova has been permanently retired. Just one more target to go.
So I have one big complaint, and there's really not too much to complain when you're playing this, because IO is so polished when they produce a game like this. They give you one level, and they're able to work on that level and make it to perfection. And it didn't have any technical glitches. I didn't have any pop-in textures, nothing like that. Audio is great. The voice acting is phenomenal. The movement of Agent 47 and the world and the environment and the characters that are in it have their own unique style that when you see it, you just know that it's a Hitman game. And that's how everybody interacts. That's how they move. It's just different than how you and I would interact or walk in that kind of sense. But the problem was, when you're on this island, as the game progresses and your story moves along, there's this storm that comes through the back end of the island, and it moves forward in a way that it becomes really, really loud and, in a sense, overbearing.
You, leave us.
Which I found kind of took away from the fact that I'm supposed to be on Paradise. If I'm on Paradise Island to get away because I'm this high value target or high value that kind of wants to just disappear and go under the radar, and we only have this one level. It's not like you do the story and the story progresses and then you eventually get into this other world or this other environment. It is, you're there on one location and that is it. So when you land, you're on paradise and the sun is out, everything's nice and clean and beautiful looking because it's a resort. But then all of a sudden the storm comes in through the back and becomes really dark, gloomy. In some parts, I almost made it was kind of hard to see what I was actually doing in the game. That was a little frustrating, but it was more the thunder that took over and rolled into the game. It was cool that it was there and it came in, but I found it just to be a little overbearing.
That's Stephen Bradley taken care of. Well done. Just one more target to go.
All in all, I had a great time in the Haven DLC for Hitman. This is definitely one you should check out. And the story is actually really good, the way it finishes off. 3 cool characters to pick off. It's a great time. I'm there with an 8.5. Hitman is back with the latest DLC, Haven Island, and with it comes new creative ways to eliminate the targets. An expanded story has me waiting for more Hitman, but I wish Haven Island stayed like paradise. Well, for most of the visitors. Scott, we're back to working on the railroad. Scott, you and I jumped into early access on Machinki. What do you think about this as another railroading game?
So this is kind of our specialty now. We're
Seems to be,
back
buddy.
around with the tycoon railroad kind of corporation game, but I gotta say, with this time, I'm impressed. So it's a big game and they're still adding a lot to it. So it's hard to kind of comment on everything that's going on with the game, but jumping into it, it's that classic tycoon railroad construction.
Sure.
You make it however you want to make it, but you kind of have some quests to guide you through. It's one of those.
It is, but it doesn't explain how to do it properly. This is where I struggled. I'm an hour into the game and I'm already like, where do I do? Where do I go on? How do I put this down? Where does that go and does this? And it doesn't work, man. It doesn't explain enough how to even start the game. And I'm already frustrated, so I shut it off.
See, I got very frustrated with kind of the tutorial that it always throws in the beginning. No matter how many times you start the game or a new game or from a different era of train working, it gets you to make your first track.
Sure.
So it gives you the kind of basic tutorials, but it doesn't explain the very fine details that come up and are very important, like having a box around your station, and that determines how close things need to be to the station to actually feed it. And that was an issue you ran into where the coal's not where the coal should be, or, you know,
the logs.
The logs aren't.
It's like the third quest in the game, and I had to go get logs, go over to the sawmill. I'm like, cool, I got no problem doing this. Put the station down. Nothing. My train moves over, it just sits there. It says, your train has nothing to do. Like, what do you mean I got nothing to do? It's because I'm a whole block away from the
one
forest.
block. Now there is kind of ways to fix that. You can upgrade your stations and make the zone bigger and stuff like that, but for the most part you're just gonna scrap that and make a new station, which is really frustrating when you have a low amount of resources at the beginning of the game and you're trying to grow your resources. You need to have some safe kind of business developments, and this was not explained to you very well from the beginning. So
and that's the biggest issue.
It is an issue with the game, definitely. Now, because we're kind of grasping at a lot of this genre and we see a lot of these games, I skipped right through a lot of that issue, and then I found kind of some issues further down the road. So they have added trucks and roads to this game.
Roads is the latest update that they just patched into the game, so that's something that's new.
And they're bringing in new vehicles to kind of move your resources around that. Now, I had an issue where if you want to blend these two systems, if you want to have a road that drops stuff to a station and then your train picks it up, you can't do that because of the zoning issue. Because of the way the squares are, if it's not next to that factory, it's not going anywhere. So basically you have to have this network hitting every single spot that you want to hit with the railroad cars, and you can't have a truck bring that to another independent set of railroads. Now this is complicated stuff, but an hour into the game, this is the issues that you're looking at. You're trying to expand.
Which is going to turn a lot of people away if you're already struggling to get past the first hour of the game.
Yes.
Like me.
Yeah.
I was ticked because I was looking forward to playing these games. I really enjoy a lot of these games. So to get back into another railroad sim, perfect. And it's got two different perspectives. One where you're into a building perspective that allows you to put your track down, your station down, and other things. You can customize too, and add decorations to kind of make it look a little bit nicer and stuff. And then you can go and actually experience the real world of it, and how you just kind of sit back and watch the train go, or you can go right into the train itself.
You can
and
actually
just enjoy
ride
the
the
scenery.
rails and just watch how
which is
your
cool.
systems work. You have a lot of, so if you're a train hobbyist like yourself, there's a lot of different things that they've added to the rail systems that give you the control that you want. And I'm not familiar with those kind of standard setups of how things are supposed to work, so my kind of systems that I made were a lot rougher than probably would exist in real life. But if you wanted to have all your traffic directed through signal lights and all these trains crisscrossing, missing each other, perfectly timed setups, you can do all that, and it's all available in the creating tools. You can get that complicated.
Okay, here. I'm back to another issue because I had the train stuck in the station. It wouldn't even leave the station. It says it's stuck at a signal. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Why am I stuck at a signal? It's the only train on the track and it's not moving. I'm like, you've gotta be kidding me. I'm like, I'm trying to figure out everything.
They did not.
Skip the signal. I'm like, skip the I'm smashing my mouse button, trying to skip the signal just to get my train moving. And then you know what it does?
You can't babysit that train all day.
Oh my god, but it says
stop at the next
train.
one.
It says the train's moving. All of a sudden, my train goes 40 miles an hour and it's just sitting still in the state. I'm like,
I have that issue
furious.
once myself as well. So there's definitely some things they gotta clean up.
Every time I tried.
Or just, I think it's a matter of explanation. Again, there's some mechanic that's holding us up and we're not aware of what it is.
I feel like I'm missing something.
Or when you move a train back into the depot and then you're trying to switch the carts and stuff, they don't ever do that on their own like they're supposed to. You have to manually go do it. You can tell it to go to the depot and that's about as much as the work as it'll do. But you're supposed to be able to queue up these other actions and it'll just do it by itself. But it's not ever worked for me.
No.
So that's kind of holding it back.
Yeah.
All in all, though, you gotta love the way that's presented. There a lot of good graphical content to it.
The style, right? There's
the style and the different eras as the technology progresses.
Cool.
The fact that you can follow the vehicles with a camera, that was nice. Anytime I got up to go downstairs to get a drink or whatever, I just put it onto whatever train and just let it ride the rails. And
that's cool.
I thought it was a nice little additive to that game.
I really enjoy the game. Overall, though, I had some major issues that kind of stopped me from playing the game longer, which was just frustrating because there's something there that I'm missing or something that's just not explained well enough to get to across the point that I just need to move my train. It's a simple thing to move my train from one spot to the next, and I can't even do that.
They need to put some kind of wizard in there that sees what your issue is and then gives you the tutorial for that issue. And that's a lot of these games have that same kind of hindrance where we just don't know what we want to do.
No, that's fair. Overall, Scott, recommend? Not recommend? What are you thinking for this early access?
For me, I got hooked and I got past a lot of the issues you did. I have to recommend this one because I'm hooked.
That's fair. I like what they're going for, but right now I'm too stuck on just systems that aren't there for me, so I don't recommend this one.
For the first time ever, we have a difference of opinion. Drew got bogged down by the micromanagement, but I really like the track building. If you like this video or you want to see more reviews and news, check out our channel and give us a subscribe.
Hey, did you guys know we have a podcast called Inside the Gamecast? Hit us up over on YouTube and SoundCloud, and you can check it out. This week, we talk about Chapter 2 from Fortnite.
All right, guys, Fortnite Chapter 2 is here. That might not mean as much to you guys as it does to maybe me and millions of other people that play this game. But over this past weekend, October 13th, there was a live event in Fortnite. Season 10 is passing over into Season 11 now. So there's usually one or two really good live events per season. This particular season, Season 10, there's been so many changes over the map, bringing back rift zones that bring back parts of the map from Season 4 and Season 5 and 3, like all over the place, right? So it's kind of been throwback all season long, and it culminated with this huge live event that everybody wasn't sure how it was going to end, what was going to happen, but all they knew is that it was labeled, "This is the end."
The black hole.
Yeah. So essentially what happened was a series of rockets and rifts and portals all through the world.
Like a lot of rockets. I saw
essentially dropped a giant asteroid in the center of the map where there's a huge rift, and it created a black hole that destroyed the entire map, sent everybody. If you guys even caught the live event, they did it so well. So like everybody watches it, it blows up, and you're kind of like floating in the air for a while, like way back, blown up view, watching this all go down, and then you see everything start to get sucked back in, and then everybody just gets sucked in, and there's a black hole on the screen, and that was it.
And it just sat like
For
that.
the Avengers, and they all just disappeared.
Essentially, and for 24 hours, Fortnite was down over the course of the weekend. As a
that.
Canadian, it kind of sucked because it was over the course of our holiday Monday. So like everybody that wanted to play Fortnite on their holiday Monday wasn't able to. But I mean, yeah, exactly, right? So there's speculation everywhere. People are freaking out with that. Is Fortnite going to come back? Where did it go? And I'm like, $1 billion game is definitely coming back. Just give them whatever time they need.
And it gave you like 2 options or something. It was like, go play other games or delete this. Or
yeah,
something like
it was
that.
just
When you
basically
logged
like
in,
exit, and nobody when it first happened, nobody wanted to exit the black hole screen. You're like, am I going to lose the game? Like, what happens, right? So and if you missed the event and logged in after the event happened, essentially what happened is it bring you to the lobby menu where it shows your character and just like regular, and then like the screen starts flickering, and then it changes, and then like it sucks the black hole and everything on the screen in, and then goes to the black hole screen. So they thought of it all when it came to how everybody could experience it. But if you haven't seen the live event, you got to check it out on YouTube. It's like 8-9 minutes long, but it's definitely worth a watch because usually people are getting a really good view of it. But anyways, Chapter 2 is what we're talking about now, and after Fortnite's 24-hour blackout, we are now in a new universe. The battle bus is somewhere else now. We're on a whole new map. It's a brand new map, totally different from the other one. A couple of the same named places from the old map made it onto the new map, but again, in different orientation. The place didn't look necessarily the same. It was a shell.
The farm is different, right?
Yeah, exactly. The farm isn't even the same farm. It was just it's labeled something differently. But like Pleasant Park's still there, Retail Row's still in there. But again, there's not the same buildings necessarily in there. It's set up slightly different. Yeah. But anyways, what I thought was really cool first hopping into it is that your first drop, you don't get sent to the lobby. You just get thrown into a solos match.
That was cool.
Which it was a really cool way to do it because it kind of there was like a little cinematic movie right before it started, and then your guy jumps out of the battle bus in the cinematic, and then it's just you're in the game. It's time, like you're dropping, and it's like, oh crap, like all right, here we go, new map. And then normally when you drop out of Fortnite, even before you jump out of the buses, you check the map to find out where you want to drop. Most battle royales are like that, right? Well, this map is completely dark. You don't know where any of the places are. You see the outline of the map, and you can make out some like landscape.
It's like
features.
a fog of war kind of thing.
Exactly. And you had to discover everywhere on the map. And actually, there's still as today, right this minute, I've still got like 2 small places I haven't been to yet, but I've covered the map pretty well.
Okay, so it continues through each playthrough, right? Like,
exactly. Yeah. So as you go along, there's you just have they basically really want you to discover the new map and all the new areas. So there's like 12 new points of interest or 12 new towns, and then there's like another 10 points of interest or something like that, which will be smaller things.
I heard it's very busy.
There's a ton of water. Boats are now a thing. Swimming's also a thing.
Finally.
Which I thought was really cool. The mechanics on it are fairly good. It's basically just left stick swim, and you can do like this kind of jump dive and like speed
a
up.
Fish jumps out of water and then dives back under.
And then he like catches a bit of a speed burst because they're like heading into the water. So that's pretty cool. Which is making some of the battles that much more wild because the boats aren't necessarily chained to the water. They're almost like hovercrafts. People are flying them like all over the place.
Really?
And it's still a boat. It's not necessarily a hovercraft, so it doesn't like you can't just go traveling across the map with it.
Sure.
But like if you got some speed, like you can run up on land, do some damage, and still like make it back down into the body of water you came out of. And again, sticking with the water, now there's fishing in the game, which I thought was kind of weird. So you can pick up a common fishing rod, and there's parts you see it's like kind of like a visual cue where you can see fish jumping out of the water, and there's kind of like ripples in the water, so okay, this is where you throw it in. Yeah. So you can cast and you can get all different kinds of weapons, from great weapons all the way up to legendary. You can get health, anything. Yeah, you can get fish that you can eat. Some of them will just give you health. There's ones that act like a slurp juice, so you can get either health or shield depending on what you need. Because slurp juices I don't believe slurp juices are in the game anymore. They're out, which that's another thing. They've stripped down your arsenal significantly.
There's a little mini in.
There's minis and a half pot, which they've always had.
Yes.
But then slurp juices used to give you 75 either health or shield, depending on what you needed. I don't think they have that, and I haven't seen a chug jug yet.
No.
Which used to give you 100 of both, right?
Yeah.
So the big thing is they've it's the same game but different. It looks completely different. Your characters are the same, but the entire environment is a little, I'm going to say, more matured. It's less cartoony than it was.
You think so?
Oh, 100%. It looks better than it did. Like, if you side by side what you played and what it was, it looks that much better. You'd be surprised.
I haven't played in a long time. This is, I think, what Epic did well, was the fact that just, boom, they sucked in the whole universe and it was gone.
Yep.
And now here's Chapter 2. Still in early access of Chapter 2. Really?
Yeah, no, I mean, we can look past that at this point, because that's not, I don't think that's changing.
No, it blows me away that they still say.
They can get away with saying.
Either way, it's Chapter 2, and I'm like, man, all right,
Wait,
let's go.
Fortnite's still in early access?
It says early access, so yeah.
Why?
Yeah, I don't know, because you're on Chapter 2.
That game is developed.
It's like threefold now. Yeah,
exactly. Right?
Been up for like 2.5 years, yeah.
Either way, I went in to see what the difference was, and to me, I'm like, it's just more Fortnite. But I had a good time.
Yeah.
And then the map looked cool, but to me, I'm like,
the last time you played was season 2.
Well,
right? You know what I mean? Though,
yeah,
like,
I haven't played in forever.
Consistently, for somebody that plays it all the time, it is a significant difference.
It's a huge change for you, but me coming back in as someone who hasn't played in seasons.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's just like Fortnite. It just feels like Fortnite. Yeah, I got shot. I'm dead. I'm kind of whatever. Like, I got a couple kills. I found it easier to get more kills because they've adjusted how you matchmake now, which is a lot better.
Yeah, you actually have a rank, your rank next to your player name in game. So even like if you get killed by somebody, you'll be able to see what rank they are and stuff like that. Okay. So yeah, it's the matchmaking is a little bit better because you do notice it, especially when you first start as somebody that's played the game before. There's a lot of new players right now, which is like essentially is showing that Epic Games knew what they were doing by doing this. They're reintroducing so many new people into this game, because jumping into Fortnite in season 10 was like, no way, you don't stand a chance. There's too many weapons, too many techniques. People know too many things about the current map that you wouldn't know, that make things that much more difficult. So now it's stripped down. We don't have nearly as many weapons as we used to. We still have a lot of the basic weapons. They changed the way the weapon icons look, which they've done a couple times since the game started, but for this Chapter 2, they've kind of revamped that as well. And finding rare weapons is much more difficult. You don't find the golds, the purples. Even blues are tough to come by. You're going to get a lot of gray, a lot of green. So it's kind of leveling it out right now, I think, and it's almost you're almost relearning how to play the game in the way that they want you to at this point. I mean, the controls still feel the same, and your building's still the way it is, but they've made these just, I'm not going to say significant changes, but these little tweaks that really change the way you play the game. Yeah. And it's exactly, you're following right in line where they want you to go. We're like lemmings playing this game for Epic Games, right? They're leading us to where, the next thing is now they've got this brand new map, fresh slate that they can, mutate and form over the next 10 seasons like they did with the last one. I mean, I don't see them not being any more. They're going to be just as successful, if not more, this Chapter 2 than they were in the first one,
because they were able to pull in new players and old players who haven't been in seasons, like myself. Like I played I don't know how many matches today.
Yep.
So I'm like,
I'm gonna have to check it out now that
see what I mean?
Update.
Well, no, it's worth hopping in and then looking at the game now, and even looking at it in season 10 just to see the visual changes as far as the map's concerned. The entire environment looks different. They've added more detail in certain things, like the trees are totally different looking trees. The mountains look different than they were in the last game. There's just a little more texture to it all, I guess.
Okay, that's what I was looking for. So I couldn't tell the difference because I didn't play last season.
Switch?
No, I was playing on Xbox.
He's playing on
One.
Xbox.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're playing on the X. I was going to say, if you're playing on the Switch, maybe it'd be a little harder.
No, I was on the X.
But yeah, definitely, like, even just watch like a Ninja video from a couple weeks ago where he's playing in the older map, and you'll just notice the difference in the map style.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they've tried to mature the graphics a little more, so it's not so,
It's still that cartoony.
Oh, and you're never going to get away from that. That's what it is.
Well, if they did something completely different, then it wouldn't be Fortnite.
No,
right?
and you don't want to lose what you've got. They just want to gain more, right?
Exactly.
And I honestly, with what they've done, I think they've done a really good job.
Where does creative mode sit?
It's still there.
It's still there. As
Save
far
the
as
world's still there.
Save the world's still there. So it's just the big thing was obviously battle royale, right?
Yeah.
That's the big
the
change
moneymaker right there.
So, but the thing is they never shy away from creative or save the world. They're always updating those game modes as well. So I don't see that stopping.
So those still on the new map then? Is that how that works?
Well, Save the World. Save the World is like its own style. It's like
it's its own
it's
world,
not the battle royale map.
No.
So it's like its own separate. It's basically its own separate game.
It is. Yep.
You don't.
Absolutely.
Nothing really transfers over other than the characters you have.
Yeah.
And your V-Bucks and stuff.
Yep.
But and then the creative mode. I assume as this new season starts, they're going to unlock or allow people to have all the new environmental stuff to build with, because that's what they were doing basically all season long last year, was just adding in different pieces that people could use, right? Different sets and things like that. So for this, I think it's just going to be very similar, but they might just do one large release of like all the stuff. It could be released now. I don't know. I don't use the creative mode that much because it's hard. Like it takes some time to really set something up.
You got to
and
understand
like that. Like you're like you either play the battle royale, the
Yeah.
PvE, or you play creative. That's that. You don't have time for the other ones, really. You know what I mean? Like you get addicted to one and you stick with it. So I mean, this is it. The one last thing I kind of wanted to add in real quick about it was the fact that you can hide now. There's like team-sized bushes. Like you can fit 4 people in a bush. There's huge bushes that you can just like walk through, which I thought was really cool because I'm like, oh man, I'm totally gonna get screwed by one of these. But you can hide in haystacks and dumpsters.
I saw when they did a trailer, right, where a guy actually pops out of the dumpster and then nails a bunch of people who like ran right by him.
And I see that stuff and I'm like, I'm terrified. I'm already scared running through the game looking at all this stuff that I'm worried someone's going to jump out of. Now people are actually going to jump out of stuff that I can't see them in. Oh man, I'm going to be so mad when it happens for this first time. I'm like, he was in the dumpster. But you know, it's just like it's just stuff like that. It's not a huge change, but it changes the entire elements in that game when you play.
Yeah, for sure.
How you approach.
Impressed.
Chapter 2's looking pretty good. The battle pass looks really good. I got it. Yeah, it's another. I mean, they've really not had too many bad ones. Let's put it that way.
Nice.
They figured it out through 100 levels. They know how to do that battle pass pretty good. So overall, Fortnite Chapter 2, I think, is going to be a huge success, and I'm excited to see what they're going to do with this new map because it's already awesome.
Awesome. Hit us up on Twitter at the official ITG and let us know what you think of Chapter 2 for Fortnite.
What? You never played Tuber Simulator?
This week, my mobile mention was PewDiePie's Tuber Simulator. I've seen a million of this guy's outros, and I figured I had a big trip ahead of me. Why not try it out? I jumped into the game, and it kind of reminded me of this, like, iCoke kind of thing. If anyone remembers that from the early 2000s, it's almost like a Habbo Hotel style game where you're doing YouTube videos. You're picking a topic, you're making the videos, you're streaming on your off time, you're getting all these views and all these follows, and that's your currency to buy items for your room. Now you can get different things to customize the color, put just a whack load of different items in there.
You want some pets? Easy!
There's a lot in this, even though it's just a small little mobile game. So I figured I have to mention this one.
Overpriced pumpkin.
PewDiePie's Tuber Simulator. Check it out.
The game is available for free, and that's a great price.
All right, Drew, we go one step at a time in the Sojourn. So, Drew, this week, the Sojourn on PS4 first-person puzzle game?
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly where this thing shines, and the art style, I think, is really where...
this one I knew we both liked. As soon as I started the game up, I was like, I see why Drew picked this one.
Right.
It's like this art style is kind of that, you know, it's almost like a pastel color that, you know, wheel that we're working with here, and it's very soft. All the terrain and everything is, it looks really good.
It is. It's so gorgeous, and it's bright until you flip to the dark side. And that's how it gets tricky, because that's when your puzzles are affected. The whole game is about solving these intricate puzzles with repeatable functions.
Yeah, it's
a weird mix.
There's certain techniques you have to use to solve these puzzles, and you end up kind of repeating some of the steps over and over again to get yourself from the point A that you start to the point B, which essentially and this is what's so cool about this game. This is what actually I noticed first. They kind of throw you in the first few basic puzzles, which is kind of like a tutorial setup. But as you transition from level to level, there's no load times. You finish the level, you reach that platform, you walk through a door, and now you're on to the next level. And my favorite part is as you walk through that door, the path in front of you starts to build, and then it reveals the entire puzzle as you kind of enter that area. And for me, I was like, whoa, no load times. I can go from puzzle to puzzle to puzzle to puzzle. I thought it was really good. Yeah,
you go to puzzle.
The first few, you go puzzle, puzzle, puzzle. But you know what? They got hard pretty quick. I'm not gonna say hard, tricky, because again, we said there are some techniques you have to use, and one of the biggest techniques in this game is flipping to the dark side. So essentially, what happens is there's a spot in the puzzle where there's some flames come up from the ground. You step into those flames. Now we've switched from the daylight now where it's basically nighttime. That's the way it looks. It's kind of just to show your transition from light to dark essentially. And now we have a bar, and every time we take a step, we lose a little bit of this bar. And you have to be in the darkness to make some of these things work. So there's statues you move around that allow you to teleport using the darkness, ability. You look at the the totem, and then you can switch places with that totem. Using up none of that kind of mana bar, we'll call. You know what I mean? So that's kind of an aspect in a game like this where I'm not into these first-person puzzle games. Haven't played too many of them, but I'm a big puzzle guy. I love to solve puzzles. Whether it be a video game, a Sudoku, anything like that. I'm a puzzle guy. So I knew I'd get into this one, but again, it is difficult, and trying to figure out exactly what you need to do with some of these things is difficult. I mean, they give you a bit of an idea of how the mechanic works, but then you don't necessarily know how to apply it when you're in the level.
The way it works is some of them are set up that the teleport is to get from one ledge to the next, but in that portion of teleporting, you then have to get the harp to sing, which then builds this bridge, or if you're in the dark zone, you can then see this gap gets filled with this blue goo or
essentially it's like just like a phantom bridge.
So but you have to have that bar in that side of the puzzle, right? Which then allows you to get to the other side, which then you want to teleport because that brings you to the other side and then flips you over here, and then it's tricky the way that it's set up.
It seems confusing when we talk about it too, and it just kind of makes me think about it is confusing in the game to understand what exactly you have to do. You have to get to the other side, but getting there requires not necessarily always moving forward. Sometimes you have to take 2 steps forward, then that step back to move more forward again. So that's where it started to get tricky for me, is when I've moved this totem over here and I've duplicated it. The harp's doing its thing. I've made it across the bridge, but now I have to go back across the bridge to get the totem, hit the harp again. Then it's just there's so many different steps sometimes, and I know there's probably a couple different ways to solve these puzzles, but for the most part, what I've seen, it's been fairly like there is one solution for the most part.
It seems that way,
obviously there's variations of the solution, but there's still only really one clear path that will get you to that final destination. And it made it kind of tough. There's a couple times I had to put this down and be like, because I was cruising through and then I got stuck, and I'm like, all right, what am I not seeing?
You hit a wall.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And I found that difficult to want to come back and then have to start doing that again. So once you break through, then it's like, okay, another 2-3 levels, and then another tricky one comes up. I mean, that's the idea behind these games, is that as we go along, the difficulty obviously is going to increase. But maybe I'm just not as good at puzzles as I want to be. But this one got hard pretty fast.
I enjoyed that. I like the fact that I sit down and you could see everything from the one spot the minute you walk in through that kind of that portal. And it opens up and you see the entire level, right? And you go, everything is right here. I just need to figure it out. So then you're teleporting, which then when you teleport the temple, that goes here, which then duplicates over to here. But then you need to get the over here, and then you get the harp going.
But if you take it out of the duplicator, it disappears on the other side. Again, that's like, we probably sound like we're talking nonsense, but it is just one of those games where you kind of have to see it to understand what we're talking about. So everything you're seeing behind us right now should hopefully lend a bit of a hand on what's going on. But again, it's just, there is a confusing aspect to this game, and I keep coming back to it. Like, I want to like this game more than I do, but it's kind of difficulty level and just its lack of explanation a little bit. Like I said, they explains how the mechanics work, but you run into using those mechanics in very different ways in each level.
Yes.
So it makes figuring out how to use that mechanic at each level or each point. Okay, do I do it like this, or am I supposed to do one of these maneuvers?
Sure.
And then you get into, you've made a bunch of moves on your board, and now things are all moved around, and now it's become even harder to figure out how to solve these puzzles, and you end up having to restart and refresh the board, and then kind of go back into it with a fresh slate.
It's like the Rubik's Cube, right? You mix it around and go, oh man, now what do I do? But I really like this game. I like the style of game. I love
visuals were
art
awesome.
style is phenomenal. It's confusing, but what's more confusing, Corey, is the story. Because I don't, there's this, I don't know.
I don't even know if I want to call it a story.
I don't get it. I don't understand what it is whatsoever. People are blindfolded. That's all I see. Kids are blindfolded. Adults are blindfolded. There's this big dude with a lot of coins with them or something. I haven't got a clue, man. I got nothing.
You know what? And I tried to understand what was going on. It kind of brings you, as you progress through these levels, you kind of enter these areas that aren't a puzzle. It's more of just an area you have to pass through.
Yeah.
And as you walk through these kind of statues of basically a family, it kind of starts at birth and then goes from there.
Yeah.
And there's a few different steps as we go along.
I got some of it, but then it just really got.
Well, there's really no explanation as to why they're there, why we're walking through them, and what its relation to what that is to what we're playing is.
It's like someone had this breakthrough of what life is supposed to be about, and this is how their journey of explaining how we start as humans and then kind of progress, but then I don't know, and then your family, and then your kid goes out and your kid's gone with a bunch of other little kids, and the adults are left behind.
It loses you.
I even tried
what's
to going on?
Go back a bit to try to, maybe I missed something to where I'm not understanding.
I'm glad it wasn't just me.
Yeah, again, it's just the explanation of what's going on is very vague. There's no dialogue in this game whatsoever. The only sound I can't get out of my head is the sound of the harp, because every time you play it, it makes the same tone for the time. Yeah, and you know, I'm not gonna lie, a harp, it's beautiful sound.
Sure.
It was beautiful, but don't give me the same sound every time, because there's going to be a time, maybe in a level you get stuck on, you're hitting that harp like
15 times,
15, 20 times, and I don't want to hear that tone anymore, because guess what? I know I'm running out of time and I can't cross those bridges before the harp stops.
You're going to smash that harp in a second.
Exactly. So there's things like that where it's just like, the game looks really good. When you're playing in the level, there's also the environment around the level.
Gorgeous.
It's not super detailed, but it just looks really polished, really clean. Everything about where it is makes playing that game enjoyable.
Yeah.
And the audio, again, there's not a ton here. There is some background music that's very light, but again, that's also repetitive over time. It has this kind of whimsical feel to the music, to the tone, but at the same time, it's kind of like, all right, I'm getting sick of this. I'm gonna turn the music on.
And I enjoyed it. It was just like this chill experience, solving puzzles, but at the same time, I can't get this. What is the story, man? I get stuck where, what is the purpose of what all this, it gives you text and they kind of give you the meaning of life and all that stuff. I'm like, wow.
No, you know what, we're both expressing frustrations with this in different ways.
Sure.
You know what, I think it's probably fair that we should score this, because we are seeing it, good and bad on this one. If you've got a score, Drew, what are you gonna give it?
All right, so I love, obviously, the art style hooked me instantly. I knew I'd love that part. I like the puzzles. I like the mechanics that they've introduced for you to traverse the level and figure out the puzzle. When you do figure it out, it's one of those excellent moments of, yes, I nailed this. It's almost like beating that boss you can't beat, in a sense. But the story, I just can't, I'm just stuck with, what is this story for? What's it about? Why am I doing this? And that's why I can't get out of my head, so I'm there with the 7.
You know what, I'm right there with you. I'm a little bit lower. Like I said, I came into this because I was excited, because I'm a puzzle guy. Again, it looks awesome. It started off really great. Once I got stuck a few times, I was starting to get a little discouraged, and that's where I started having problems with the repetitive audio. It started to pick up being like, you know what, if you do get stuck in this, it's even harder to deal with now because of some of these things. But again, overall, the gameplay is really clean. The mechanics, as far as getting from point A to point B in these puzzles, works really well. It's creative, something I've never really seen before. So you know what, I'm right there, but I'm just a little bit lower with you, 6.5.
Nice.
The Sojourn is a great first-person puzzle platformer. You'll find yourself getting immersed in the beautiful environments and level design. The audio in this game is mellow and suits the overall style of the game. The puzzles can be difficult at times, and you'll find yourself resetting the puzzle every once in a while. But overall, The Sojourn hits all the buttons for what a puzzle game needs. Fans of the genre are really going to enjoy this one. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos.
Alright guys, we got a Let's Play this week, and I'm really excited because we're playing my game. I got the guys finally convinced. We're jumping into Fortnite, checking out Chapter 2.
Missiles.
Oh, nice.
I didn't mean to shoot.
I'm shooting at you.
You meant that. No, chicken. Yeah,
Oh, shit,
kind of.
Yeah, it does. Alright, we got 30 seconds. Should probably roll in at this point.
Yeah,
oh, you missed.
How do you use that?
Yeah, that bump left stick in is.
What could that be? My controls. Oh, shift.
What the? Oh, we're in.
I kind of like these boats. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, the boats are pretty cool.
Oh man, I had to.
Alright, we're gonna have to find a spot to get off here, fellas. There's some stuff up here. Let's go for a rip.
Nate doesn't like us.
No, he's gone.
Oh! Oh yeah! Land ship away!
Full deck.
Oh, you getting shot at back there?
Yeah, dude. I don't know what's going on. I think I need to reset the internet. It's really bad.
I see him.
Oh, what do you got, a sniper? Yep, nice.
Buddy's got a sniper rifle on the right.
Tagged him. Oh, Sky's rolling in!
Distract!
Sky's behind you. Keep hammering him, keep hammering him.
Oh, I got the perfect spot now.
Nice. Oh, I'm out of ammo.
I'll keep their walls down, artillery.
Yeah, keep it rocking. I gotta get in there.
Oh, this guy's coming to get me. Had to bail. Oh, I got him down.
I killed him. Nice.
Oh, yeah.
We wiped him.
Good job, boys.
Woo.
Yes. Boat's OP.
Good job. Oh, no, you guys are all shielded up pretty well. Scott, you just need a half shield.
That was good.
Auto pistol.
Oh, let me see this. Might be in. Oh, that's cool. Is it an auto pistol?
Oh,
no,
maybe
it's
not
just-
semi-auto, but you
it's
can
semi.
fire it real quick.
That's cool. I like that.
We got a Zura. Well, there is a bus.
Whereabouts? Oh, you set up a trap over there, Corey? Where to, Corey?
Let's go to Pleasant Park.
Okay.
The confidence.
That dragon glider is cool, man.
Yeah, that was in the Battle Pass last season.
Yeah.
I'm hitting up this house.
Okay, I'll hit the one on the left.
There's definitely another team here.
Yep.
There looks like they're landing on the southwest side.
North side. I'm on the other house past you, Drew.
Okay.
We're going to that little restaurant, gas station thing.
Yeah, there's some stuff on top of that, Nate. I saw like a shotgun and stuff up there.
Ooh, sniper. Take it.
Oh, you guys getting shot at?
Not me.
Oh.
Nate? Nate,
Nope.
you good?
Nope, nope. Oh, I'm good.
Alright.
Awesome.
Okay.
Okay. Low
I'm gonna get up
profile
on
then,
top of
guys.
this
Low
house
profile.
Back here, the one you were at. Get a better view of these guys.
Oh wait, there. This house has been cleared.
Oh.
They're heading across the soccer field, I think.
They're underneath,
The
right in
one's
front of us,
that
Corey.
Pavilion.
Yeah. Are we shooting
How
at
about
him?
this nade?
Nice. Oh man, he's tagged him for 29.
Got him down.
He's
Just watch
dead.
his buddies, Drew. They're gonna come running.
Yeah.
Yeah, see them?
Yeah, here they come.
I
Nice.
got one of them down. Oh man, it's so hard to aim.
Got him. He's dead too.
Yeah.
Nice.
Got him.
That's what 6 grenades will do.
Yeah. Alright, I thought I saw some guys further on down, but I don't know if that was the squad.
I'm looking around at my ground scanning there.
Oh, I got 7 health.
So far.
There's a bunch
here.
of heals
I
around.
got 2 minis for you here, Scott.
I'm healing to 100 right now, so I'm good that front, but I need shield.
Yeah, there's some mini shields there, bud.
Sweet. Oh, I actually have another health kit. Do you still have grenades, or did you whip them all?
I whipped them all. I can carry it.
I still got room for it, actually.
Alright.
Alright, yeah. Now I got healing and...
Alright, we're in the circle, so we can finish looting this place. I'm not sure how much these guys did.
I don't know. I'm gonna check out this yellow house over here.
I think I see
Good
a
little
shine.
elimination.
Pretty sure they cleaned it out though.
Oh, that's a lamp. I thought that was a gold chest. It's not. Controlled by a lamp.
Dirty trick.
Yeah. Yeah, Nate, there's some small shield for you here.
Okay.
How do you, I guess you wouldn't know how to mark it on PC.
No.
Yeah, there it is.
There you go.
Here, I got some small shields. I got two of them. So. Good.
Do you still have two?
Well, I
Or
have
did
one
you
left, so I can take the other ones.
Oh, okay, yeah, then you can add that to the stack. Excellent.
Crap weapons, really. No heals. But whatever. Oh, there's a drop back here to the northeast.
Is there? Should we go get it?
Well, it's not a bad. Might not be a bad idea.
I got some bandages right here, Corey, if you need them.
I don't need to carry any. I was just looking for something.
Yeah.
Better than the. I don't know. I'm holding grenades, so I won't always need them. Yeah, I'm gonna head to that. It's not too far. 250 meters.
All right, let's go.
To the left too.
Oh, yeah, that guy's back left.
This is the team.
All right, so I'm like hiding in a hay bush right here. Oh, they're coming in. Oh.
Oh man, they're rushing you guys, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm like right on this guy.
Oh, I just missed a shot on him.
You 1v1 me, bro.
I got him. Knocked him down. Get him, Corey. Get him. I knocked him. Nice.
There's the guy with the rocket.
Oh, he shot me. Oh, you got me good there. Right there. Oh.
Oh, he got me.
Didn't even see him.
Guy had 7 kills. He wasn't messing around.
I got him.
Oh, he's gonna shoot me. No.
Oh!
Fourth place again.
Man, really? All right, Corey, that ends off another episode. And each and every week, you guys hit us up at InsideTheGame.ca, where there we highlight one of your clips to end off our show.
Yeah, this week we got Lithgren with a sweet Apex clip.
Nice, let's check it out. Thanks a lot for sticking around and watching the show. We'll see you with more gaming goodness next week.
Got the positional advantage. There's a care package coming down. I'm spotted. I'm down. Just up now.
Taking shot at. Reloading.
Okay.
You want me to start her up?
Yeah, Corey, you might as well run with this one.
Oh, I feel like such a big man now. Starting up a segment on the podcast. Moving on up, boys. Moving on up. All right. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah.